Students, today we will see lesson 4.3 of standard 7, the Red-Headed League. The lesson Red-Headed League is one of the 56 Sherlock Holmes short stories written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. It involves mystery and suspense. Like other Sherlock Holmes stories, this story too is told by his friend. So let's read the story and find out the mystery and suspense. When I called upon my friend Mr. Sherlock Holmes, he was conversing with a visitor who was an elderly man with fairy red hair. When I went to meet my friend Sherlock Holmes, he was conversing to a visitor, means he was talking to a visitor who was elder and he was having glowing red hair. Holmes introduced me to the visitor, Mr. James Wilson. He was a pawnbroker. Holmes asked him to repeat his story for me. He began by showing us an advertisement in a newspaper. It read as follows. Holmes introduced Mr. Watson to the visitor. He was Mr. James Wilson and he was a pawnbroker. Pawnbroker means a person who lends money at interest when valuable things are kept with him till the loan is repaid. And he told that repeat your story to my friend. So Mr. Wilson started with the advertisement in the newspaper. To the Red-Headed League. There is a vacancy for a member of the league and the salary is £4 a week for nominal services. Red-headed man may apply in person on Monday at 11 o'clock to Duncan Rose at the office of the league, 7 Fleet Street. The advertisement appeared in newspaper 2 months ago. Mr. Wilson's assistant, Vincent Spaulding, had shown it to him. Mr. Wilson liked his assistant Spaulding. He was smart, efficient, and worked for only half the normal wages. But the assistant also had his faults. Every now and then, he left work and went down into the cellar to develop photographs. Photography was his hobby. Now, the advertisement read was given in the newspaper and it appeared 2 months ago. Vincent Spaulding was working in Mr. Wilson's house. He was assistant of Mr. Wilson and he showed the advertisement to Mr. Wilson. And Mr. Wilson liked Spaulding very much because he was smart, efficient, and the main thing was that he was working at the half of the normal wages. But he had a fault. He used to go down into the cellar again and again to develop photographs, as photography was his hobby. Spaulding showed the advertisement to Mr. Wilson and explained to him that an American millionaire, Mr. Ezekiah Hopkins, had founded the famous Red-Headed League to help all redheads like himself. Spaulding urged Mr. Wilson to apply for the job. So the two of them went to address given in the advertisement. Now, Spaulding showed advertisement to Mr. Wilson and explained that an American millionaire, Mr. Ezekiah Hopkins, he founded this league and he wanted to help all the redheads like Mr. Wilson. Spaulding urged means he forced Mr. Wilson to apply for the job and they both together went to the address which was given in the advertisement. Fleet Street was full of red-headed people. Mr. Wilson thought that with so much competition, he would not get the job. He wanted to go back, but Spaulding pushed through the crowd and took Mr. Wilson to the office. Now, the address was Fleet Street. So they reached there, but as soon as they reached there, they saw many people there. So Mr. Wilson wanted to come back, but Spaulding pushed him to the office. There was nothing in the office but a couple of chairs and a table. A red-headed man sat behind the table. He was Mr. Duncan Rose, a representative of Red-Headed League. He was very pleased to see Mr. Wilson and announced immediately that he was well suited for the job. He shook hands with Mr. Wilson, congratulated him and told all other candidates to go back. Now, as soon as they went to the office, there was nothing in the office, only chair and a table. And they found a man sitting there. He was Mr. Duncan Rose. He was representative of the Red Headed League. And Mr. Duncan was happy to meet Mr. Wilson, and he announced immediately that Mr. Wilson is suitable for the job. He congratulated him and he told other candidates to go back. Mr. Duncan Rose explained that Mr. Wilson would have to be in the office from 10 to 2. If he left the office, he would lose the job. Spaulding assured Mr. Wilson that he would look after Mr. Wilson's business in his absence. The pay was fixed at £4 a week. And the work, said Mr. Wilson, you have to copy out the Encyclopedia Britannica. The pay was very good and the work was light. Mr. Wilson accepted the job and began his work the very next day. Mr. Duncan Rose was there in the office to see that Mr. Wilson did his work properly and did not leave the office. He told Mr. Wilson to start with the letter A. Mr. Wilson wrote diligently for 4 hours without leaving his place. Mr. Ross would drop in from time to time to see that all was right with Mr. Wilson. At 2 o'clock, he bade Mr. Wilson goodbye and locked the door of the office. Now, Mr. Wilson is asking, what work should I do? Then Mr. Ross is telling, you have to copy encyclopedia. The pay was good and the work was also light. Light means easy. So Mr. Wilson accepted the job and began to work from the next day. Mr. Duncan Ross was in the office to see that Mr. Wilson is doing his work properly and he is not leaving the office. He told Mr. Wilson to start from letter A. Mr. Wilson wrote diligently. Diligently means carefully for continuous 4 hours without leaving his place. Mr. Ross would again and again go and see that Mr. Wilson is doing his work properly. And at 2 o'clock he bade. Bade means to tell Mr. Wilson goodbye and he locked the door of the office. These went on day after day. Mr. Holmes, said Mr. Wilson, and on Saturday I got my salary. It was the same next week and the same the week after. After a few days, Mr. Duncan Ross came in only once in a while, and after a time he did not come in at all. Now Mr. Wilson is telling to Mr. Holmes that this went on day after day, and Saturdays he would get his salary. These same went for the next week and the week after. But after a few days, Mr. Duncan came only once a week and then he stopped coming. He did not come at all. Mr. Wilson continued. 8 weeks had passed like this, and I had written about aborts, archery, etc. and hoped that I might get on to B soon. And then suddenly the whole business came to an end. To an end? Holmes asked. Now, Mr. Wilson told that these continued till 8 weeks. And I was still on letter A only. And I was hoping that I might get to letter B soon. And suddenly whole business came to an end. Then Holmes is asking, to an end? Yes, sir. This morning I went to my work as usual at 10 o'clock. But the door was shut and locked with a little note nailed on it. It said, the Red Headed League is dissolved. October 9th, 1880. Now, he is telling, yes, sir. One morning I went there and the door was locked. And I was surprised. And there was a note on the door that the Red Headed League is dissolved. October 9th, 1880. I was shocked. I did not know what to do. Mr. Wilson went on with his story. I made inquiries at the nearby offices, but none of them knew anything about the league. The room had been rented under a false name. Now Mr. Wilson is telling, I was shocked and I inquired to nearby offices, but no one was knowing about it. And the room also was rented at a false name. I went home and asked my assistant Spaulding for advice, but he could not help me in any way. I want to find out about the league. Mr. Holmes, who they are and why they played this prank upon me. The whole thing is a mystery. That is why I came to you. I have heard a lot about you. Now he's telling that after these all, I went to home and I asked my assistant for advice, but he also did not help me. I wanted to find out about the league, so I have come to you, Mr. Holmes. I have heard much about you and I want to know why this prank means evil deed, was played upon me. Holmes found Mr. Wilson's story very unusual. He asked Mr. Wilson, these assistants of yours who first called your attention to the advertisement, what is he like? Now he is telling this assistant who drew your attention to the advertisement, how he is, what he is. Small, stout, with no hairs on his face. He has a white splash of acid on his forehead. He was small and stout. Stout means fat, and he was having a mark of acid on his forehead. I thought as much, said Mr. Holmes. Is he still with you? Now Mr. Holmes is asking, is he still with you? Oh, yes, sir. That will do, Mr. Wilson. I can give you my opinion on this subject in a day or two. Today is Saturday and by Monday we may come to a conclusion. Now Mr. Wilson is telling, okay, then I will give you my opinion on the subject in 1 or 2 days, and today is Saturday, we will meet on Monday and come to a conclusion.